these videos is a whole new experience because I want to go through this process and I don't want to stay stuck here, and I recognize that doing the things that are hard are often what we need to do, and especially when our intuition says to take action. So I'm filming this and I'm an hour late trying to leave my house because both of my kids were having a hard time with me leaving. My husband leaves first, which leaves me to be the last one at the house and leaving them with our babysitter. And I helped my daughter. I was thinking, oh, okay, that wasn't too bad. I mean, it was bad. It was pretty intense. She was crying. I was pretty aware that there was someone in our house watching all of this, and when she kind of finally got back into a better place, I had the thought, oh, well, that was much easier than I thought, and Bodhi seems fine. And then as soon as I go to say goodbye, the intensity of his reaction was even worse. And I left the house feeling like a terrible mom because not just because I left him crying and screaming hysterically, grabbing at me, that's bad enough, but because I'm choosing to go to work instead of being with him. And it makes me feel like a terrible person. And because it's not that I don't love my son. I am more connected to him than anybody. But I also know that I have to go and do my work. And the pain I feel from that conflict is pretty strong. And so when I have these moments, when I have a hard time, for me, my triggers are always around family. And I have found that working with patients and working my own trauma, that's where it comes from. Our responses to things that seem completely unrelated, me working with the horses, how can that have anything to do with my childhood trauma? It has everything to do with it. And so when I have a moment when I'm with my kids and I have them in the barn and all hell breaks loose and I'm not the calm person I think I am or want to be, then I immediately start thinking that I'm a fraud, that I'm an imposter, how can I be helping people with mindset? But the reality is because of exactly this. Because as long as I'm still alive, I still have things to work on. This is the human experience. And for me to pretend that I have it all sorted, that I have it all figured out, that to me, that's worse than getting on here and showing people that, yeah, I have my own shit to work through. Because at the end of the day, the people that are going to judge me and say, you can't help me because look at you, you're a hot mess. They're not the people that I can help, and that's just how it is. But there's other people that have been doing this work and recognize that you can do the work and you can be very committed and you can have a lot of insight and a lot of awareness. But if you're still alive, there's still more work to be done. And every time you expand and go through the process that I'm going through right now, it's going to feel like chaos. It's going to feel like doubt. It's going to feel like shame. It's going to feel like whatever it is for you that is keeping you blocked, is holding you back. Because when you butt up against those things to break through those, you feel them and they get expressed. And so I'm not ashamed about this process because I still can recognize what it is. Doesn't make it any easier. It doesn't make it less painful. But I trust the people in my life who I've turned to for guidance for this particular moment, because I don't want to go back to old patterns. I don't want to revert to my conditioned way of being. So I'm taking this step on to continue to face everything in the moment, forever long this lasts. Would I like it to be over? Of course. But I don't want to suppress it, because then I know it's just going to come back up in another time. It's a whole trying to keep a beach ball underwater analogy. That's the truth. That's where I am right now. And this is what it's like when you don't shove the beach ball down. And too many people shove the beach ball down and pretend that they're happy all the time. And they're not. And I can see that. And to me, it's painful to see in another human. So I won't go there. And right now I'm trying to recognize that this feeling, these experiences are a blessing, because it's going to help expand my understanding, expand my ability to hold space for other people that want to know how to go through this process and have it be something that makes them feel more love, feel more connected, feel more joy, and get back to the place where they feel like themselves and feel whole. I certainly would love to get back there, but it wasn't this morning, that's for sure. So that's all I've got. I've nothing more to say. It's time for me to kind of just be quiet and be with everything that's happening